to not to be.
Watching the news is the well-known Mr. Mike Miller. He is the owner of Lavish Bites Corporation.
Breaking news. There are cases of IMPF31 virus has been reported. Everyone is advised to wear a mask and keep your social distancing at all times. All premises need to follow the standard operating procedure by the government.
Mr. Mike took the matter very lightly and followed the procedure. However, he did not monitor how many customers went into his premise and simply accepted everyone. Little did he know, a woman who was infected came to eat at his restaurant. 10 days later,
Hello, are you Mr. Mike Miller?
Yeah? Who are you?
I'm from the Ministry of Health. This is regarding the infected woman that came to eat at your restaurant.
Oh, yes. I have given all the information that you need the other day, right?
We trace all your customers who eat there on the same day and ask them to take the swab test. The results will be out tomorrow.
Okay. That's all?
However, we have been informed that you allowed too many customers into your restaurant at one time. Therefore, your premise will be closed for a month.
Oh, really? It's not something serious at all. Fine. Bye.
the next day, Mr. Mike Miller went to his restaurant located at the Casta City Mall to see his workers and check out the situation. When he arrived there, he needed to go to the toilet first. Suddenly, Mr. Mike bumped into his old friend Peter Johnson, who was once a steward.
Mike?
May I know who you are?
Hey, I'm Peter Johnson, your old friend.
Peter? What happened to you? How did you end up as a cleaner at this mall?
Actually...
Mrs. Johnson was scrolling the news on her phone. Suddenly, she came across a shocking news.
What?
Mr. Peter comes back home with a flight attendant luggage with him.
Why are you here? Did you really lose your job?
I'm sorry, honey.
Ugh, I don't care. You better find yourself a new job. If not, how are we going to pay for the Wi-Fi for Leia's online classes? And what about my hospital fee for our baby's regular checkup?
While they were busy arguing, they didn't realize that their daughter Leia was listening to them.
What will happen to my family? Am I a burden? What should I do?
Leia felt pressured. She ended up crying as she felt helpless and demotivated. Mr. Peter was trying very hard to find a new job. Sadly, most companies cannot afford to employ new workers. He then started to give up day by day. A few days later, Mrs. Johnson got a call from Leia's class teacher saying that Leia has been skipping her online classes.
Leia, your class teacher called me. She said that you've been skipping your online classes. Why? Is there any problem with the Wi-Fi?
No, Mom. I heard you argue with that. I felt pressured and I feel that I'm such a burden. Dad is at his hardest times, so I just don't want to be a burden.
Leia, you're destroying your future. You need to study hard, Leia. Life is not easy. If you really love your dad, you need to make him proud.
Leia felt so motivated and decided to study hard so that her dad's effort paid off.
Knowing what Leia did makes him more determined to keep searching for a job, even if it's a small pay.
Finally, he found a job as a cleaner at the Casta City Mall.
Ooh, so are you okay now?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just that Leia has been sick these past few days. She took the IMPF31 test and the result will be out today. I'm just afraid because I might lose her.
Don't worry. This virus is nothing. I need to go now. Good luck, my old friend.
Okay, thank you.
At Mr. Mike's restaurant,
Sir, here is the list of the customer that had took the IMPF31 test.
Mr. Mike was shocked when he saw Leia's name on the list.
Hello, Mr. Mike. Because of your restaurant that didn't follow the government SOP, 2 of your customers have been infected by IMPF31, Miss Liana Julia and her friend Miss Leah Johnson.
Leah is now being isolated in a glass room at the Castor Hospital. And then there's Mr. Peter, looking so despair from the outside.
Mr. Mike then realized that his actions has affected others. Not just others, but his own old friend's child, Leah Johnson. Leah was one of the customers who came over to the restaurant and got infected. Leah's father, who is his old friend, has lost his stable job and has to do odd jobs to survive.
Now we realize that ignorance is not a bliss. Ignorance causes depression. Ignorance causes sadness. As a student, we cannot ignore our duty to be diligent and persevere in order to succeed. As parents, we cannot ignore our children's needs to be loved and accepted. As employers, we cannot ignore our social responsibilities to the community at large. As workers, we cannot ignore honesty and integrity. And as the government, we cannot ignore our beloved Castirian and their rights to live in a safe, peaceful, and stable environment. Ignorance is not a bliss. We have to not be ignorant.
The end.